Do you have a tendency to procrastinate, not do the things you say you're going to do, or find yourself frustratingly not taking action on those goals that you've set for yourself? If so, this week's episode is for you. I'm Siobhan Barnes, and I work with corporate women to realign their ladders against the right wall so that they're doing meaningful work that matters not only to themselves but to others as well. So this topic of procrastination, this topic of not doing the work to achieve the goals you've set out, is a topic that is ripe at particularly this time of year as we're looking at how to make the year the best year yet and actually take action on some pretty cool goals. Now, I found a really cool tool to help me understand myself better so that I know how to take action on those goals that I set for myself. And I found that having self-awareness for how you work as an individual is the best way to actually take action and do it your own way. Each of us is unique. Each of us is different. We're motivated by different things. We desire different things. We think in different ways, and that is beautiful. So instead of making things hard, I encourage you to work with your unique way of doing things, your energy, your personality, and making it your own. So today I want to share with you a quick tool that you can do to assess where you sit and how you're motivated when it comes to taking action so that you can work smarter instead of harder. So this tool I'm going to share with you, I did not create. I have no affiliation with this woman. I just think it's a fabulous tool and I wanted to share it with you. So the tool is the 4 Tendencies quiz by Gretchen Rubin. And Gretchen Rubin is an author who wrote the book The Happiness Project and Happier at Home. You might have heard of her before, you might not have. Regardless, I will link to her and the quiz below so you can go check her out. So, in a nutshell, the quiz will help you see how you are motivated to take action based on 2 things. Number 1, how you meet your own internal expectations. Number 2, how you meet external expectations. So internal expectations are your own goals that you set for yourself, what's important to you. And external expectations are what others demand of you. So we live in a world where we've got both going on, and it can be very helpful to set what your natural tendency is so that you can come up with strategies to make sure that you're not leaving yourself out and you are actually taking action towards that matters to you. So there are 4 main groups, and I'll do a brief description here. So the first group are the upholders. This is the easy breezy group, actually. Unfortunately, I'm not part of this group. This is the group that meets their own internal expectations and their own external expectations. So what that means is that when a boss says, hey, we've got this project that needs to get done, and you're a person that's a go-getter and you're like, yep, I that's aligned, I want to do that so I can get promoted, then you're going to be very good at just taking action and getting on with it, making sure you look at all the steps, mapping out the steps, putting pen to paper and meeting that deadline relatively easily. And it's very straightforward. And I understand that this group is pretty small, which makes sense, right? Like how many people follow through on those health regimes at the start of the year? How many people take action on those goals? Not many. So if you don't fall in this group, don't shoot yourself in the foot or beat yourself up. It's okay. There are other tendencies and we can work through those. Okay, the second group are the questioners. So the questioners are those that meet their own internal expectations and they say, okay, what do I want to get done? What's important to me? And then when somebody tells them something to do, they're going to question the heck out of it. Why do you want me to do it? Why is it important? What's the frickin' point? And so if, for example, that I just mentioned, you have a boss who say, hey, we need to do this project, a question is going to say, well, why? What's important? What do we need to achieve? What are the key outcomes? What are the key metrics? Why do you want to do it this way? What about this way? And they're going to have to make sure that what they're putting their energy and effort towards makes sense to them. So if you are a questioner, just know that that's okay. You just want to make sure that you're spending your time wisely, and that's not a bad thing. But take the time and give yourself permission to ask those questions so that when it clicks, feels good, then you can go. So those are the questioners. Number 3, we have the rebels. So the rebels are those that don't meet external expectations and don't meet internal expectations. And the example I like to give for this is really like kids, right? Like if you say, hey, wear a jacket, it's really cold out, put it on. They're going to say, no, I don't want to, because they want to do the opposite of what you say. So external obligations, the natural reaction is going to be like, no, I don't want to. And it can be a challenge, right? Because if you do want to do something and, you have a person that's saying, hey, do this so that you can do that and create that goal, you're going to be like, no, because you want to be that rebel, and it might actually be in conflict with your own internal goals. So it can be very confusing. But not all is lost, right? If you're a rebel, you've just got to figure out how you can work with yourself in the present moment. How can you attach joy and pleasure to what it is you're doing? So for example, if you're starting an exercise routine and somebody says, hey, you got to run 3 times a week, you might say, screw you, I'm not going to run 3 times a week. I really feel like kickboxing, and you'll do that. But when you do that, you might not commit to the kickboxing. You can tie a story to it and say, I love kickboxing, it makes me strong, I love the results it gives me. You can work with it to make sure you do take action. Just a little tidbit there. Okay, number 4 are the obligers. So the obligers are those people that tend to meet external expectations but don't meet their own. So classically, the people pleasers, the ones who will say, okay, I'll show up for you if you've made a commitment to go to a gym class at 6 a.m. or a boot camp class at 6 a.m. and you're going with a friend, you're not going to hit snooze because you've told your friend you'll be there. So you go, even though internally you're like, oh, I just want to sleep. So that's an example. And unfortunately, I fit into this category, which is a bit of a bummer, but most people do fit into either the obliger or the questioner category. So if, as I'm talking, you feel like, oh, I can see which one I am, go take the quiz and go learn some of the tools that you can use to work with yourself. If you are an obliger, working with accountability, making sure you're getting support and you're telling someone what you do could be a great way to take action on those goals. So there you have it, a very quick and simple tip on how you can actually take action on those goals that matter by working with your natural tendency. I would love to hear from you. Which of the 4 are you? Leave a comment for me below. And if you'd like support on how you can work with this, just leave a comment and we'll continue the conversation over there. Just remember, there's no one in the world who can do what you do the way you do it, so keep on going.